in design, print, promotion, and distribution. Suncoast Marketing for over 40 years, serving South Florida as well as the entire U.S. and even internationally from right here in South Florida. Call us for all your printed documents, promotional products, trade shows, labeling, digital marketing, web design, SEO, and social media marketing. Visit us at suncoastmarketing.com or simply call 954-583-4351.
Welcome to the 2-Minute Warning, a sports talk platform that will examine current issues in the world of sports, the athletes, and the communities they impact. With your host, former NFL star Benny Blades. Benny will be speaking with both current and former athletes, asking the questions about the lessons they've learned on their journey and how they impact the community. Call into the show now at 888-565-1470. Mr. Blades, are you ready?
Welcome to another show. I'm your host, Benny Blades, and thanks to my sponsors, Suncoast, for being another weekly sponsor. Before I get to my guest today, training camps have started around the NFL. So with there being no preseason games, the rookies are going to have to get battle tested early. And so those are the things that training camp is supposed to give the young guys. So just like in Texas, DeAndre Hopkins, so hammy. He won't be practicing for a little while, but he's a veteran, so that won't affect the Houston Texans very much. But here's a guy that knows all about being successful. My guest tonight is none other than the Miami Dolphin star, Sean Wooden. Sean, are you on the line?
Oh, I'm here. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Sean. Thanks for being on. But
Oh,
you
thanks for
killed me.
having me.
Look, you killed me because you put on that Notre Dame.
I had to dig a little
I
where
know,
that meat go.
I know you had to do it. But before we even get into all of that right there, uh, I want people to understand you being a Pittsburgh, a Pennsylvania boy. How did you choose Notre Dame over Penn State? Penn State gathered everybody from Pennsylvania.
Oh, I
How did
know,
that
and
happen?
that's probably why the reason I went to Notre Dame instead of going to Penn State. I remember when Paterno and Holtz, they were all coming out, doing those home visits, coming to visit the parents. They gave the spill, and they both pretty much said the same thing. Come here for 4 years, and we'll take care of you for the rest of your life. And just made the decision that sat my head down one day and just thought about it long and hard. And Notre Dame was the place that I wanted to be. I thought that I would have some success there. Um, and then also, plus, the class that was going to Penn State, I was running back coming out of high school, and there was another guy being recruited that I took recruiting visits with by the name of Kajana Carter. So,
Right.
you know, Key was a beast coming out of high school, and I mean he was a beast in college. I mean, being the first round pick that he was, that the success he had in college and as well as in the NFL. So decided to take my talents to Notre Dame and try to replace. They were losing a guy by the name of Rocket Ishmael at the time, and tried to go in there and play a little bit of offense, but you know things happened. I ended up on the defensive side of the ball, and the rest is history.
Well, that's what happens. I try to talk to the young kids. You can be recruited as a quarterback, wide receiver, running back, but we all know you're going to do whatever it takes to get on the field as quick as possible. You have to move over to the defensive side of the ball, and look, for you and I, it worked out. For a lot of
It worked.
people, not so good, but hey, let's talk about some of those days when you're at Notre Dame. I mean, you had a very
Yeah,
successful career there, you know, until
yeah,
you
yeah,
played my Hurricane.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was actually fortunate to come in after that series was over. I mean, from what I talking to the upperclassmen, the series ended in 1990. My freshman year was 91, so I never really got to play the Hurricanes. But just watching the games, listening to the stories, listening to 30 for 30, all that stuff about Catholics versus convicts. I have much respect for UM. I'm going to tell you that right now. I do. I have much respect for UM, the program, and the players. I've got to meet and play with a lot of the guys that come out of that university and that organization, and they're all top notch. I mean, you guys are ballers, man. You guys are players. I don't know how we stayed in games with you guys. It just goes to show, Notre Dame steps up to the challenge when we have to, because you guys had some talent back in those days.
Yeah, I mean, we put a few guys in the National Football League.
Just a few.
I'm not gonna say just a few, but you know what I mean. Going to a school like Notre Dame, people seem to think that it's more academia than it is athletics. But I tell people that the people that I've known who's come from Notre Dame, they've learned to balance them both. Along with
Yeah.
yourself. I mean, you can just tell people how was your experience there.
Oh, I was a computer science major, so engineering and everything. It was pretty difficult academic side, but yeah, like you say, you got to have that balance, and that's one of the things that every college athlete has to learn. Going in is there's going to be times where you're going to have to put your big shoes on and and step up to the plate. It's going to be challenging. It's not going to be easy, and we were just used to it. It just became a way of life. It became that's something that you just did. You had to take care of, you work in the classroom, but, you definitely had to take care of the stuff on the field. It was just about time management. And, that's one of the things that, I preach to I have a son that's in college right now. I have 3 other kids, coming up throughout different grades. And one thing I preach is, time management.
Yeah, that well said, because a lot of the guys that I know, whether they play for Miami, whether they play to Notre Dame, Stanford, it doesn't really matter what university you go to. If you can't balance academics and athletics, you won't be successful no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And you've learned to, and that's why I'm gonna get into that a little later in the show, because you're successful at what you do now because that time management was there. But I want to get into just a little bit of your playing days, for the Miami Dolphins. Now, you got drafted, or did you not get drafted up under Jimmy Johnson?
No, I got drafted. That was Jimmy's first year, so I was a 6th-round pick. Coming out of college, I had back surgery and knee surgery, so a lot of teams I was blacklisted actually for a couple teams. I believe there was about 8 teams that said I would never play in the league whatsoever just because of my back surgery that I had. It was actually from a birth defect. It wasn't even from an injury. It was from born with a slight case of spinal bifida. So it was actually missing a piece of my spine. Didn't realize it until I got to college, which was kind of lucky because I probably wouldn't end up at Notre Dame if they knew I had a piece of my spine missing. But so it was interesting. It was that's when I truly learned that I gotta make sure I do stuff off the field as well. I wanted to be successful on the field. I wanted to make it to the league. I'm not going to lie. No, everybody that plays college football, you want to go to that next level. If you don't have that desire to go to the next level, then you're not going to go to a school like a Notre Dame or a UM or a Penn State. You're going to do something different in your life, and it's not for everybody. But the guys that I was around, I seen guys getting drafted in the first round, guys playing, Jerome Bettis, Rick Meyer, Reggie Brooks, a bunch of guys before me. Tom Carr. I believe everybody in my secondary probably went to the league at one point in time. So it was, you're around those guys. So that competition, they brought out the best. We brought out the best out of each other. But just the competition, who we played back then also brought out the best. And it was so. Being able to take that to the league, and when Jimmy drafted me, and you said it best, is earlier, I don't know how rookies are going to do it, because if I was coming out this year as a 6th-round draft pick, I was a 3rd DB taken, by the Dolphins that year. The last, I don't know how much shine I would have got. I made my noise and all that doing these, doing OTAs and training camps and things like that after the draft. And, by the time we got to this time in life, our first preseason game, I was a starter already, and I wouldn't have had that opportunity. I talked to Zach Thomas the other day. We were just talking about it, and he was saying the same thing. He's like, we don't know if we would have even made the team or made the NFL in today's pandemic world. So it's going to be interesting to see how coaches and the players step up, and there's going to have to be some changes. There's going to have to be some things that are a little bit different this year. So it's going to be very interesting to see what comes out of these next couple of weeks of training camp.
Well, just like you just mentioned, in today's, pandemic days, these 6th, 7th round guys, how does a coach evaluate these guys? You can't hit. There's no OTAs, and so you got to get your starters ready because there's no preseason games. So you got to get your starters ready for week 1. So
Exactly.
it's really tough.
It's going to be difficult. I don't know how you do it.
Right, like you said. Now, what would Jimmy Johnson would have done? Would you got any reps during the Jimmy era?
No. I would have had to wait till DeAndre Hopkins went down, somebody went down to get my shot, get some time. But I'm telling you this, is whoever those guys are behind him with the Texans, they better be ready. That's the one thing is as a rookie, you got to be, I don't care. I was always a bubble player. I played 9 years. Every year I seem to be on the bubble, so according to the press and everything. The coaches never said it to me, but, the perception was that I was on the bubble every year. So you got to be ready when the opportunity hits. When you get that time to go with the ones, you can't make mistakes. I'm going to tell you, that's how I ended up on the defensive side of the ball. I made a mistake I was a wide receiver at Notre Dame my freshman year, ran the wrong route. Rick Meyer got hurt in the game, and Lou Holtz looked me dead in the face and said, "See you in the spring. You're not playing no more this year." And that was like the second game, third game of the year. So, I'm trying to play as fast as possible, so I moved over to defense and started playing defensive back.
Right, and so that's why I've talked to a few of the rookies now who are in some of these training camps, and I keep trying to tell them, whatever that coach asks you to do, you do it, whether it be special teams, and they don't realize a lot of those guys are going to make it because of special teams. But one guy told me,
exactly.
I don't play special teams.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. You will this year. If you want a career, you want a job, you better figure out how to cover a kick.
But look, you still got those prima donnas that would tell you they don't do that, and you'll see them back here in Broward County soon because they just think the NFL. That's right. So we're gonna take a commercial break, and we're gonna come back and just talk a little bit about what you're doing and the success you're having after the game is over with, and how your kids are doing. All right. We're going to take a commercial break and be right back with Sean Wooden.
Zodiac Vodka is an American-made, all-natural, gluten-free potato vodka. Only 2% of vodka is made from potatoes. We use regionally grown potatoes and water from the Snake River Aquifer. We start with the best agriculture to make a superior product. It is rapidly growing as a bartender's choice drink. Go to ZodiacSpirits.com to find your cocktail. Remember, must be 21 years or older. Drink responsibly. ZodiacSpirits.com.
Many patients are often unsure where to go for treatment after a sports injury, car accident, or slip and fall. We here at the Boca Clinic are readily available 6 days a week to treat you by providing long-term relief through addressing the cause of the injury and not just treating the symptoms. Daily stress to the body causes the spine to misalign, resulting in poor posture and poor nerve flow. Dr. Klein provides a relaxing environment where the clinic focuses on strengthening and healing both muscle, soft tissue, and realigning the bones. We are located at 1601 Clintmore Road in Boca Raton. Call now, 561-988-1998.
His abilities as a dry cleaner are so undeniable, Dry Clean Only tags have his phone number printed on the back. Stubborn stains sometimes call him late at night just to apologize. His pickup and delivery service is so fast, his vans have pit crews. He is the most interesting dry cleaner in the world.
You don't always dry clean, but when you do, use A&T Dry Cleaners. Stay dirty, my friends.
Okay, welcome back. Before I get back to Mr. Wood, I want to thank my especially Zodiac Vodka. Now, I want people to tune in a couple of weeks from now. Sean, it's going to be my birthday, September 3rd. And Zodiac
Okay.
Vodka is coming up with a Benny Blaze signature drink. I don't know what it's going to be right now, but like I told you, it really don't matter. After you get past 50 plus years old, it don't matter what people make. You just happy to be around.
Hey,
And
happy,
yeah,
happy, happy to be celebrating.
happy to celebrate every year after that point. And my other sponsor, Dr. Rob keeps me upright. So if you're ever in the Boca area, Sean, please go by and see Dr. Rob. Look, I can move around now because of him. But
Yeah.
I want to tell the people, because you're doing something very interesting, not only in the community, but for yourself. Tell the people what you're doing in the community and what you're doing for yourself nowadays.
Well, I try to be
Don't
very
be
involved.
modest.
I think we were very blessed to be in position to be able to do stuff in the community. So I try to be involved in the community as much as possible with various different, foundations, organizations, charities, as well as, the Dolphins organization. Still do some stuff up in Pennsylvania and Philly. The chairman for the Maxwell Football Awards, where we basically celebrate football from, all levels, all the way from the high school level, all the way up to the NFL. So doing that, but my day job, with my 9 to 5, or actually it's like from my 8 to 8, because I still get
Yeah,
calls and all from clients now and emails, but I'm a financial advisor, so do a bunch of stuff with from investment management, wealth management, financial planning, do some risk management stuff involved with insurance for individuals and for business owners. Actually, a couple of your sponsors, we do some stuff with a couple of your sponsors, so it's pretty good. We have some overlap there, and I'm definitely have to check out Dr. Rob, for my back. If he's keeping
yeah,
you upright,
definitely,
I definitely can use
definitely.
him.
Yeah, because I tell people there's a lot of mornings I can't even get out of the bed. That
Yeah,
NFL is put a hurt on a lot of our, health
yes,
after the game. And so he has helped me tremendously. So please go by there and see him. But like you
no,
said, people don't realize how you have to stay in touch with the community once your playing days is over with.
mhm,
I know for a fact you go do a lot of stuff with OJ McDuffie, his foundation and all of that. And those are the things that people tend to forget, that a lot of former players they get back to the communities. And what you're doing with the Maxwell, I call it the Maxwell Trophy up in Pennsylvania, okay?
yeah,
And I mean that's to be commended, because a lot of times, I mean, you may not have given me a call, but when the Maxwell people give me a call, look, whatever you can do to help that, because they, like you say, they go from youth league all the way to the collegiate level, and they give back to these young
yeah.
kids, and that's what it's about. So how
It's
do
all about
you?
creating opportunities for kids, creating opportunities for the youth, like you said, that's real important, and that's what like I said, is we're very fortunate because we're in a position that we have uh, you know, a voice. We have something that we can give, just by giving our time, giving our, our backing is, we can create these opportunities for these young adults and these young kids that, they might not have had. So that's real important to me. It's about creating
Yeah,
opportunities.
and I'm glad, because I know I'm gonna reach out to you, because I do a lot of mentoring. Of course, everybody knows
Hmm.
I'm in the school system. And so when you get a lot of seventh and eighth graders, first thing they tell me, "Oh, Mr. Blade, I'm gonna go to the league like you." I said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna let you know. I have a big placard on my wall, because I deal with the behavior kids, and I tell them only 1% of 5 million kids around the world will get that opportunity to even go to a training camp. Are you better
Yeah.
than those?" And of course, they all say yes. They have no backup plan. Of course, a seventh and eighth grade, they don't have a backup plan. So
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
why
they
I
really know
kind
what they
of
want to do. I'm surprised. Most 7th, 8th graders. I mean, I'll go ask my 10th grader, right, what do you want to do, and he'll tell me I don't know. So hey,
yeah,
it's good that
you know
they
what I mean?
have some plan, but you definitely have to take it. And I tell these kids, and we were talking about earlier with training camp is, making sure you're ready for that opportunity when it presents itself. You have to know that playbook. People don't realize how big was your playbook when you first got into the league. I mean, people don't realize you have to know. Like, they just think that we go out there on Sundays and play. No, it's a job. It's serious. It's a lot of film work, a lot of studying. It is a lot to do. And my coach told me best my rookie year. Mel Phillips. He was a DB coach for the Dolphins for many years. A heck of a player, out there with the 49ers, playing corner and safety. This man told me, and it stuck with me from day one, is you have to know the playbook better than me. He was like, during the games, I am up in the box looking, you're on the field. You have to know the plays better than me. You have to know that playbook better than I do. And I took that serious. And, that's probably one of the reasons why I was, got on the field earlier in my career.
Right. And that's a lot of the reason why the guys stay in the game as long as you have, because you took the time to know the playbook. Now, what advice are you giving to your kids? Do they want to play the game?
I mean, I got 2 girls and 2 boys. I have a son that's a senior now in college. He plays for Columbia. Unfortunately, Ivy League, they pretty much punted or kicked their season down the line. Hopefully, he'll get to experience his senior year. But they know me. I all believe that education really creates those opportunities. No, I talked about opportunities before. Education creates a ton of opportunities. Yes, if you want to make it to the league and all that, that's great. I say, keep that as a dream. Keep that as, one of your goals, but have multiple goals. Just don't have the one. Don't be all in on one, because, to me, it's, shoot for the stars, you'll fall on the moon and all that stuff. You know what? Shoot for it. Do whatever you want to do. You want to be an actor. You want to be, the next, Denzel Washington or whatever it is, a successful, somebody says the next Bezos, the next, Buffett, I always say, shoot for, the stars, but, the way you're going to get there is through education, through educating yourself and whatever you want to do. It's not, people talk about, Michael Jordan, LeBron James in basketball. They're great talent, but they are students of the game as well. Kobe Bryant was amazing. Everybody knows how Kobe used to, what he used to do. And when he first came into the league, how he used to study. His teammates would be like, hey, let's go out and party. And he was like, no. And that's why he is one of the greatest that, that played that game. To be great in something, you have to put that time in. You have to, and, that's why I tell my kids is, just work hard, put the time in, do what you have to do. Do what everybody else doesn't want to do. If you do the steps that people don't want to do, hey, it's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. And if it comes easy to you, hey, you're not working hard enough to me. That's my mentality. I'm old school.
And that's what it takes sometimes for us, our old school mentality, to meet up with their young
new school
brains. Yeah. You know what I mean? And let them know that no matter what, corporate America, you still got to work hard. People just think, things are going to be given to you, whether it be on the athletic field, especially in corporate America. You got to work twice as hard as everybody else, and to be successful. And that's what it's about. But it was a pleasure. Me and you got to link up sometime. Like I said, there's a few things, that we got to discuss. But it's a pleasure talking to you. I'm glad, that you're successful in this community, because that's what it's about. Being successful off the field in our community and giving back.
Who would ever said that Philadelphia that went to Notre Dame would be part of the community down here in Miami?
No.
I remember my rookie year. I first came down here. The fans were cussing, were talking all trash to me and everything during training camp. So hey, I'm just glad to be part of this community.
I'm gonna one up you on that one. One of the biggest Pennsylvania boys, Dan Marino. He made South Florida his home, and I'm glad
there you go.
South Florida your home. Okay,
see,
welcome, and look, and don't leave the South Florida area. Okay, we need you.
Yeah, I tell people now. I lived here longer than I've lived anywhere else in my life. I've been here for, I'm not going to say how many years because that might give my age, but a lot of years. I've been here for 24 years. 24 years I've been here, so it's this is my home. This is I've raised 4 kids down here, and my wife's from here, so I'm happy to be part of this South Florida community. It's a great community.
Well, thank you. And
Thank you.
matter of fact, I got to get you to be part of my Black Shiraz group. That's one of my
Yeah.
sponsors, Wines for Humanity. Uh, what we do is, people. I'm the original Black Shiraz. I must tell you that. Okay,
Hey,
and they sponsor the Benny Blades Foundation, and I'm forever trying to give back to these kids in the community, because that's what I do. And like I said, thank you for being on, and I'll wait to talk to my next guest next week. Thank you, and good night.
Anton Steinhardt, founder of Wines for Humanity, is proud to team with Black Shiraz partner and former NFL star Benny Blades to assist in his Benny Blades 36 Foundation in helping children with special needs. Go to winesforhumanity.com, look for the 3 20% off wine specials, make your selection, and use the code BB36F20. Please join the team through winesforhumanity.com or call Dana Lisa Torres at 561-445-7066. Thank you.
You've been listening to the 2-Minute Warning with Benny Blades. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Tune in again next week for our next episode. You can follow the 2-Minute Warning on Benny Blades' Facebook page and share it with your friends. Mr. Blades, get ready.